Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Baiduri podcast. My name is Amy Cheong, and I'm your host for today. So, today we're going to be talking about homes. In this episode, we bring together a home renter and a home owner, and we're going to find out challenges and triumphs that they might have in the two different categories of home ownership. So, our speakers or our guests for today, we have Nonnie King, and we also have Waiz Maidin.
Hello.
Okay, so a brief introduction on Nonnie. So Nonnie is an education officer as well as a homeowner, originally from the KB,
Yes.
from Kuala Blythe.
Yes,
rather.
the land that it's impossible to get a house.
A land is impossible to get a house.
Yeah,
We'll
I
find
mean,
out.
it's true, yeah.
Find out more about that later. And she and her husband made the decision to purchase a ready-to-move-in home in the Brunei Mara district in order to help care for your mother, who at the time had regular appointments at the hospital. And now this choice, made through urgent conditions, has now become your forever home. A
Yes.
place where you're raising
Yes.
your kids.
Yeah, I'm happy with my decision though. Yeah.
All right.
No regrets.
No regrets. And we also have our homeowner. And the homeowner today is Waiz Maidin, the designs director at Dimensions. So a couple of things he's already got under his belt is the designer of commercial projects like Nonnie Restaurant. Everyone knows that place. Piccolo Frattini's at Jalan Aman, as well as Singa.
Yep.
So very cool projects to be involved with. Waiz is a master of making an otherwise empty space plush through efficient and innovative designs. And you've chosen to live in the capital, Bandar Seri Begawan, in a rented apartment.
Yep.
But first, I think the question we want to ask our renter first is, why did you decide to rent a house?
We just needed space, me and my wife, because we at that time we were expecting a baby. We need to move out pasal our stuff is getting more, and then it's 2% and then becomes 3% with all the toys lagi. So we decided to just find a place. So I was like actively looking through Facebook, and then in between bali barang layan apa and everything, and then we found this apartment that we've talked about masa before we got married. So we're like, oh, maybe endang coincidence, maybe let's find out lah the place. And then we took a visit. Macam ada potential lah, macam it can be nice. The landlord also accommodating, so we expect like, okay, maybe landlordnya okay, the place is okay, near to my workplace. But what I didn't find out is that the traffic in Bandar.
Yes,
Yeah, my
especially in
God.
that particular area where you're
it's
residing
crazy.
in
And
at the moment.
then like akhir malam, like people race around there, like exhaust, like it's very loud. But I mean, I don't mind that.
But with the baby,
I think they're used to it already.
they've been conditioned.
Yeah, they've been conditioned to that. Yeah, so the only downside is that we don't have a lift.
So which floor do you live on?
Third,
The
and
third
this
floor.
is third as in ground, first, second, third.
Oh, so technically fourth.
Yeah, if you kira the tanggal lah. Yeah, the number of steps is four. Yeah, yeah. So getting used to it. Been renting for more than 2 years now. Eventually, we'll have to move on lah from renting.
Did your parents have any concerns or any
Oh,
objections
of course.
to your decision?
Of course, especially my mom. They were in our shoes before as well. They understand that we need space, more bigger place. No lift. My parents payah naik lah sejak tu lah. So need to think about that as well. That's on the plate, yeah.
So other than the being on the third floor and a bit of noise in the evenings,
Yeah.
has this altered your lifestyle, your social life, the way you go to work?
Oh, the way I go to work now is so great. I work in QLab. Dari Bandar QLab is like less than 10 minutes sometimes. Quite convenient. And then in terms of social, it's easier for us to have friends over. It's quite decent lah. Yeah, it's quite decent. In terms of financial, of course, there's change lah. I mean, when you stay with your parents, it's practically free. So with renting, it's kind of like training us to the ownership punya step sudah. Macam with all the things that you have to pay if you have your own house that you're not renting. Andang in the mindset sudah a chunk of my income itu andang ke rumah lah. Yeah, I don't have to like practice from scratch when I actually get a home.
Now branching off from budgeting
Yeah.
your finances on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you break it down?
We all have like other financing to think about, like cars and other things. And then I just changes have to be made, definitely, because you're taking a big chunk of a new things that you have to spend on. So I have to change some things lah. But mostly like personal things which I don't mind not spending on. So I rather have like our own space compared to the other thing. So it's more about prioritizing.
Rental wise, is it worth every penny spending on rental?
Definitely, if you see like kalau macam your everyone comfortable, of course it's gonna be like, you know, worth it. Yeah, I mean, you go home to that anyway. Of course it's worth it lah. I mean, you're using it every day, sleeping in it and everything. Yeah, it has to be worth it.
So some of our listeners and our viewers might ask the question. They might say, you know, is it worth it though? What are the benefits of renting, and what are the detriments of renting?
Benefits is that you have a landlord. So if there's anything wrong, text your landlord, hi, pipe rosak, can you come and fix it? Then he'll find someone, because landlord usually have like their own contacts,
Yeah.
their own in-house thing as well.
So what about the limitations on renting?
Limitation is that you can't do crazier things with the renovation. One thing like lon sayang je duit atu kan, you're gonna like leave it there. So I have to be a bit conservative. I cannot go all out. Of course, like if you calculate like macam this amount of rental times how many months I've lived here, I could have bought this. Atulah.
I have the same
mentality kan,
mentality,
because we
yeah.
don't feel that everyday thing that we're sleeping there apa. It's like common thing.
So how does renting fit into your long-term goals? Are you saving up towards a house? Are we looking at a forever home?
Actually, I'm in the process of doing something about, you know, where I stay, such as at the moment we're planning stage. So looking forward to that lah. I mean, I have to go through financing apa and all these things, so trying to work with that lah.
Okay, so if any of our listeners or viewers are renters or would like to start renting, do you have any advice for them? Like, are there certain things that they need to look out for in a lease, location-wise, or any other advice that you might have?
Check out the location, the maintenance, and also check out your landlord. You might get good ones, you might get bad ones, so have to be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, the rent has to be like that doesn't really affect your way of living.
I think that's something that a lot of young people who are trying to rent at the moment, that's something that they don't think about. Like, they think, you know, X amount is, it seems fair. I'm making almost X amount, so it should be fine. But then they don't think about things like
it's
food,
not like before
furniture.
anymore. Yeah, it's not like before anymore. Macam get a job, cukup gaji untuk financing, get a house, ada tanah. That's it, like straightforward. But now we're thinking about like this whole barang naik kind of thing, harga rumah makin naik kind of thing. So eventually, I think people will step into renting.
Yeah, it's becoming normal, especially for, you know, the next generation of our youth.
Yeah, it's just slower to get to that point now. Yeah.
Thank you so much for all the information that you've shared with us with regards to being a renter, and you know, we know that you're looking for your forever home. And hopefully you get there soon. I'm gonna turn the spotlight over to Nonnie, who's been sitting very carefully, very quietly rather.
Yes.
Carefully listening to the conversation.
Yes, and agreeing to what he said. Because I used to be a rental as well. But I can't choose my landlord because from a child until adult years, I stay in a government rented house. Because my father was worked for the government. I also work for the government. So for all my adult years, I've been staying in the government rented house. So yeah, but it's different kind of a dynamic. Yeah.
What's the difference between renting from a landlord as opposed to renting from a government rented
The rental
house?
is cheaper. Yes, much cheaper. But at the same time, there's going to be a limit. So if you are not going to work for them anymore, or you're going to be retiring soon, or you have to move out. Yeah. So what actually kind of inspired me to get my own house is also because I had an ex-colleague. So she reached her retirement age, and she's been living in the government rented house for all her life as well. And so when she pension, she had trouble looking for a place to stay because her kids are all grown up, married, have their own family as well. So that kind of make me feel like, okay, I don't think I want to be like that. I don't want to go through that kind of phase. So I think maybe it's time to actually look for my own place then, so that I can stay there forever. I won't gonna halau by anyone lah, macam tu lah.
All right. I mean, yes, definitely looking at other people's experiences is something that will contribute to how we make decisions in our decision making. And I think seeing your friends struggle definitely would, not just you, but I think it would prompt a lot of us to be like, I think I need a place to call my own so that this sort of situation doesn't happen. So when it came to deciding on buying a home, I know earlier on we mentioned that one of the deciding factor was to take care of your mother, to be closer to the hospital.
Yes.
But what are the other factors that came into play when it came to deciding the home that you chose?
So I was from KB, and it was very difficult for us to get a house in KB because most of the lands are leased. Most of the units is in the market is leased, and then I'm actually looking for something that's kekal, that I can own it forever or pass it to my children next time. And getting a government-funded housing, I mean, the perumahan is a bit challenging as well because the queue is really long. I don't think I can wait for that. So I might as well start saving and then look for a place that I wanted and then choose what I want. The neighborhood, the house structures and the land, everything. I get to decide what I want. So that's the freedom lah yang I have.
And did you get frustrated with any of these sort of decisions that you had to make? Or was it easy breezy, lemon squeezy? I know what I want. I know where to go.
In the beginning, we were actually looking for proposed houses. Then the more you actually check out all those house plans and locations, the more you know what you want. I thought I was okay with this house. And then after that, macam...
You saw another house.
Yeah, then I saw another house.
And then you saw another one.
Yeah. And then you kind of filter through all these options and choices lah. And then you're like, okay, I think I want a house, something like this. And then I want a room downstairs. For Chinese, there's feng shui factor as well.
Yes. Where does the sun rise?
Yeah.
And where does the...
Yeah. So I've been going to places like, okay, this is going to be the main door. Okay, this is pointing to which direction. Okay, the sun is going to be that way. So is my clothes going to be dry? That kind of thing. I go through all these little petty things. Almost a year. A few months lah. Almost a year just to find that house that I wanted.
Really? That's quite short.
Really?
Yeah, that's quite short.
Short?
Yeah.
Okay, then I
few
guess
months, right?
Few months.
Yeah, so I was like, few months?
Yeah, that's quite short.
months.
Some people take years to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
not too
I
bad.
guess I have a good broker lah who just tell me she kind of shortlisted a lot of houses for me. So one day we can just go to 5 sites. It's really tiring because you have to go in and then check here and there and then looking for the builds and
At one point, I think the houses will start merging and you just don't know which house
exactly.
anymore.
They all look the same.
They all look the same, they
so
feel
we're
the same.
Which one was it? The one with the bathroom downstairs and then that's facing there? Very confusing after that. So every time after we went for a site visit, we have to take a break. Okay, let's hold on and then let's filter out again. Let make our list shorter. What do we want? Do we want this? Do we not want this?
So would you say you had to compromise quite a bit?
We do. We had to. Yeah, because you can never find the perfect house, but unless you build one yourself.
Yeah, unless tapi things change.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be that perfect first day
True.
move-in kind of feel anyway.
True.
Yeah. So some people overthink lah what they want usually. Yeah, benarnya simple saja. Yeah.
When did you decide this is the time, we're ready to buy a house? How did that affect you financially? How did you know you were ready?
Okay, when we decided to actually get our own house, so we looked through our finances. So that's me and my husband. So how much money we want to set aside for the monthly installment. So we work backwards. So instead of the bank telling you, okay, you're entitled to have this amount of money if you wanted to, but we don't choose that route. We choose the other route, which is working backwards. What amount are we comfortable in contributing, so that we don't have to sacrifice our standard of living. I don't want to spend a lot of money paying the house loan, and then I have to, I cannot do this, I cannot eat that.
And food is very important.
Yeah, it is. So that's how we actually go through a lot of things lah. Yeah.
I think that's a very smart way. Work backwards and see
Yes.
like, okay, X amount, this is how much I can, example, $3,000 a month. I can
Yes.
definitely pay this and still maintain my lifestyle.
Yes.
Is that something that you would agree with? Waiz?
Yeah. You have to know what you can spend on first. Then you know what type of house you want to live into. Maybe with the amount of what you're comfortable with, and then this is the type of house that you want. And then one thing to change is that maybe the size of the house as well. In the end of the day, it's just who lives there. You know, like every day siapa pakai the house.
I think it's interesting what you just said. This room is just for reading and this room is just for
Yeah,
computer.
you'll
At
be
the end of the
surprised,
day,
you'll
we'll
be
all end up
surprised.
in the kitchen.
People know what they want. I think it's because of the internet as well. Instagram, Pinterest, and all these things. You scroll
Yeah,
every
a lot of
night.
inspirations from
Yeah,
I'm,
so
I'm
you
pretty
wanna
sure you
change.
did that,
Of
Masa.
course.
Yeah, and then you want this, you want that. Yeah,
I want what color, I want what kind of like
Yeah.
design stuff.
yeah.
I think a lot of our generation, or even, people below 50 at the moment, we're looking at functionality.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I think over extravagance.
Yeah, and the internet always make it seem so easy than it looks. Yeah, macam dindingnya putih. Like, why is it so nice there? Tapi sudah lihat my dinding selalu bingkok-bingkok. Yeah, like why? There's like steps behind it lagi sebenarnya to achieve that flat white wall. Yeah.
When it came to applying for your mortgage and applying for, essentially, is that a loan or?
Yeah,
It is, right? How can you tell us about the process and what did you have to go through?
Okay, we went to 3-4 banks to actually ask for do you have any promotion for house loans, and what is the interest rate like, and rebates and stuff like that lah. So you really need to compare all these things. Also find a banker that actually can align with you. Yeah, so I was lucky that I actually found this banker who is really very easy to talk to. So most of the time we can just talk via WhatsApp, and then I'll catch up with him like what's the process already, because I'm from KB and then my banker is in Bandar.
Bandar, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky that you managed to get good communication
Yes.
Between yourself and your banker, and then
Yeah.
secured that mortgage
Yeah.
for you.
But not very lucky because it was during the COVID time as well.
So I think I'm going to open this question to both of you, because you are a homeowner and you design homes for people as well. What are the things that people often overlook when they're choosing or buying a house?
That they need to set aside amount for maintenance.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah,
I think that's like you mentioned, that's the privilege of renting a house.
Yeah, I don't have
Call
to
the
think.
landlord,
Call-
pipes
Yes.
burst, can you
Yeah.
fix this
Yeah.
please?
So when I
Yeah.
hear, I was like, oh, so nice to have a landlord, because I am from KB. So I have to actually contact my friend. Like, do you guys have like plumber to recommend me? Siapa kan atau usai aircon, usai this and that. I was
The
like,
one yang in
I
the
need
reply
contacts.
lagi, Yeah, in the
Yes.
reply, and then if it's a good one, if it's not, yeah.
So when it comes to a home or even an apartment, are there any sort of non-negotiables, like I must have this, if I do not have this, I will not rent or buy this house?
For my part, I must have a room downstairs.
A
I mean,
room.
the ground floor, because I foresee that I will have some elderly staying in my house, so it's more convenient for Atula, for the person to stay downstairs, so that they don't have to naik atas. Like
That's
that.
very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Kitchen for me.
Kitchen.
Kitchen size, yeah. Because we spend every day and time in the kitchen, like preparing food.
Kitchen is the heart of the home, right? That's what
yeah,
they say.
yeah. That's why people eat, gather, yeah, and keep things.
Just find out get updates on each other, what's happening
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
life.
Yeah.
Okay. Owning a home. How long has it been since you purchased your home?
Purchasing 3 years,
3
moving
years.
in 1 year.
Oh.
Yeah,
2 years.
That's
one-
an interesting fact to drop there.
It's not like you buy a house today, you live inside today.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No.
Tapi
Oh.
you decided for few months lah. saja
Yeah, a few
your
months, and then
decision
the bank process.
making. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I actually take some part of my the deposit from TAP.
Right,
that time.
right.
Yeah, that part also lah. And then finding the right contractor to do some of the minor renovations, because even though if it's ready to move in, there are some parts that I'm not happy with. So I still want to redo the kitchen. I still want to do the cabinets and stuff like that. So yeah.
But in that 3 years, you've been paying since day one.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I can move in anytime I want. It's just not livable. Yeah, just
So
to
you renovate.
yes,
what
renovate, get the
kitchen.
furnitures, get the soft furnishing and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not gonna put newspaper on the window.
I mean, if it suits the aesthetic, why not?
Yeah.
When I first moved into an
tilam
apartment, I was about
Oh,
20, 21 maybe.
young.
Very young, nothing to my name. And I had one chair, TV, mattress.
That's
That's
it.
all I had.
That's all you need.
That's
also.
all I needed. That's all I had. That's all we had.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, but you see how much you accumulate over a few years.
Yeah.
And so when we had to move out after about 6 or 7 years living in that apartment, we were so emotional, extremely emotional. I don't know
You're
why.
packing all your memories into boxes.
Exactly, but we had so much. That was the problem.
Marah jua, sedih jua.
Yeah, I was just like, this is weird. It's so weird. So you do grow an attachment to your first home, I guess, whether
yeah.
it be a rented or a purchased home.
Yeah.
So is there anything, now that we know that was a 2-year process to get into your home, and you managed to do all the renovations that you needed or wanted, any regrets, any
Regrets. Yeah, some of the kitchen cabinets. Yeah.
some of the fixtures?
Yeah, the fixtures. Yeah.
And how about yourself? You said that you've renovated your rented apartment.
Oh yeah, I'm using it like floor and lighting lah for me that time when I decide. Macam built-in furniture and all these things, not so because I know we're gonna move out. Yeah.
That's why, like, being a homeowner, like, the furniture is what I wanted to invest in. So I want something that can last long. So it took a while to actually, like, find something that I really like and yang boleh tahan lah.
Yeah.
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 I've got a question. So if you move, are you going to take the floor and the lighting with you?
I mean I can, but I'm not gonna. Like, tinggalkanlah saja. Maybe sell it to the next tenant or something.
I want to bring it back to maintenance because I think this is a big topic.
Yeah.
Once you purchase a home or even when you rent a home, what are the most things that have happened that need maintenance in your 1.5 years of living in the house?
My exhaust fan is not working already. The lampu is not working already. The faucet needs to be replaced. Things
After
like this.
1.5 years?
Yeah, because these are the wear and tear
you
things.
use all the
Yeah,
time. Okay.
we use all the time. So yeah, macam tu lah. And then it's really frustrating. Like, you can get it done right away, but you just choose to like procrastinate. And like, I'll just wait for another lampu to rosak. One go lah. Yeah.
I think another thing people don't think about is especially when it comes to buying a house, your landscaping outside.
yes,
the
yes,
cost
getting
of-
someone to cut the grass all the time.
Cut the grass twice a month.
Yes.
If it doesn't get cut, it gets too long.
Yep.
Then you
Yep.
get things living in there.
Okay, and then this is what's going on. Next to me, the house is vacant, so the rumput is really long. But from outside, it looks like my house is the one which has the long rumput lah. Macam tu, like, like, should I pay for that also? Macam tu lah.
No.
No.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the current housing market at the moment for both renting and buying. What is your opinion on the current market?
Location plays a big role. Like, if you want like something more central, of course it's going to be more expensive. So somewhere that's further away from the city, it's definitely going to be cheaper lah.
And renting?
People go for price and location saja. Yeah, recently. Sizes satu not too much of a concern.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we don't need like really huge mansions now.
Yeah, people are starting to move into smaller houses, especially nowadays. Like, people are having like bukannya 13 anak lagi, 15 anak. Like nowadays it's like 2, 3, yeah, at most 4,
7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the 7th one in my family, so it's no longer like that lah. It's
Yeah.
mengurang
So
sudah, yeah.
now we actually just go for like, okay, how many rooms? Okay, enough for everyone.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good to
comfortable
go.
landscape,
Yes.
neighborhood, okay, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
For renting, at least you can change location
Yeah, yeah,
anytime.
exactly.
But for
Kalau
buying, you cannot change location.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
cannot choose your neighbor as well. Like, if you are renting, you don't like your neighbor, you just move
Yeah,
away.
I mean the hardest thing was also I came from a family yang that one simpang itu is just my mom and her siblings.
Oh,
So it was like senang lah, like kalau kena tinggalkan, like my parents are out, I just go next door, that sort of thing. Tapi in an apartment apa, kalau if you're renting somewhere yang foreign, you might not have that. So I think that's what the difference is dulu, and now.
There's always an upside and a downside to things.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we can do is if we want to buy, we can speak to all our siblings and be like, I'm buying this house. Can you buy the house next door?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, like ada tu, like people do that, like they buy a big land and then dorang pecahkan and then adik-beradik stays there. Yeah, it still happens, tapi you need everyone to be okay lah first. Yeah, that's the hardest thing, I think.
I mean, do you really want to live next to your siblings / in-laws?
A sibling, yes.
Sibling, yes.
Yeah, it will be good actually, like someone to look after your house and then someone to help you to collect parcels and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah. There will be always someone over there. That's the beautiful side of it, lah.
Yeah,
because
I think it's
me,
like that.
I don't really know my neighbors. So yeah. Do you know your neighbor?
I know that guy next door. Yeah, and the lady down there. Yeah. We all say hi to each other.
Oh, because you guys bump into each other often.
Yeah. You have to say hi and all these things.
I don't really like, it's just hi and then
Yeah.
I remember like actually getting like gifts for my neighbors. Like, okay, I'm gonna have renovation. I'm so sorry for all the noise.
We kind of did that as well.
we have to
Please
do
like
that.
me.
Yeah,
we
it's
wrote
just a temporary
something,
thing.
like, oh my god, sorry, we sing.
Yeah.
Let's talk environmental sustainability. It's a big topic, especially, when houses can come equipped with solar paneling, not just for your lighting, but the entire thing. You can, process your own water if you'd like to, for example. Was this a deciding factor for you, Nonnie? And is this something that you might be working towards in your future home, Waiz?
Yeah, in terms of environmental, I think we have to think the most basic thing first. Like we have to think about the location of the house, how to use the most sunlight. Macam during daytime you don't have to switch on the light. You have to really think about the placement of the house lah. Also the size as well. You might not need that size. You might need smaller, and also probably AC is the biggest consumption in a household. Kitchen, fridge. Solar, I think we're slowly moving there.
Yes, especially after the big
solar.
Electricity cutout.
Yeah,
right?
That time.
That really
My
made
God,
me
that
think, okay, I
time.
need solar power lights.
Yeah. But our place masa tu in the cutout, that was like
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
The
So I
lucky
kind of
bunch.
like rented the place like $50 a night.
Really?
Nadalah.
Hey, we've got electric. Come on over. But solar lighting, definitely. We just
Yes.
invested in all the
Yeah.
exterior lighting.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
our home is
I
all
think
solar
solar
panel.
is the second thing you need to think about. I
Yeah.
think first thing is design first.
Design.
Yeah, it's sustainable.
I think some people, when they design their homes, they design it to, they have things like keeping it cool during the day.
Yeah.
So having
Yes.
higher ceilings and
Yes.
sort of like
So
the windows in certain places. I wouldn't know, but I know people who've done their designs that way. What
Yeah.
would your opinion be on that?
It doesn't make sense if you have like big solar panel on your roof, tapi you're not really harnessing through the window and everything.
yes.
Masih banyak lampu. When you actually use the location, the shape apa, and then instead of 100 lights, you can use like 50.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one of the thing what we did was when we visit a house, we'll open all the windows and see if there's any wind coming into the house.
Yeah, wind is one thing.
Yeah.
But what if there was no wind that day?
Then you will know that where to pasang the
I
fans and stuff.
see.
Yeah. And one thing I did was, I went through like a list of electronics that we will need for the house. I opted out dryer because I don't think I need it. It takes a lot of current. And so instead of that, I got transparent roofing for my backyard. So that's where I hang my clothes.
Smart.
Yeah, I was
Very
like,
smart.
look at my backyard. Yeah, so there was a big part that I feel like, oh, okay, I think more people should do that, transparent roofing, if they wanted that energy, like the solar energy, directly.
Using glass.
Yes.
So is there any other features that you added to your home or are thinking of adding to your home to help with, sustainability?
Like what you say, the house size. So I know that I don't need a very big house because that means that I will spend a lot on AC, getting ACs. Yeah. So the ACs are really expensive.
Vacuuming.
Yeah.
also.
Vacuums, yeah.
Vacuuming.
So
Vacuuming.
Yeah, if your house is big, you have more floors, right? More things to
These are really things that I just never thought of. Thank you guys for educating me today.
Yeah. And then if you have a lot of bathroom, then you need water heater for all these bathrooms as well.
No, just my room. Everybody else can have a cold shower. That's probably just think that way. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for all the input. Is there anything else that you think homeowners in the future would like to know?
When you design the house, just think about yourself, because you're the one who's staying in it. Like some people design too much for guests, and then in the end of the day, the guest comes only like once a year or twice a year even.
As for me, if you're serious about getting a house, save up now. Save up now, and then look through all your finances and see where you can pull the money from. Get a side hustle or loan from your parents probably is easier than loaning
The bank of mom and dad.
interest free. Then there's SPK going on now that you can actually withdraw part of your savings from there. Insurance, look through your finances and see like how much you can actually gather for that big amount of down payment. So if you can have a bigger amount, then it'll be easier for you for the monthly repayment.
Correct.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, just try not to burden yourself too much on that.
Yeah, a home shouldn't be a burden.
Yes,
it shouldn't make you sad. It shouldn't make you angry or depressed.
It should be like macam you don't want to roll back kalau kena tanya how did you move in. You don't want to tell the horror story of moving in kan jua. So I think what people always anu jua is hire a consultant.
Yes.
Like get to know all the things that you need to spend.
Or talk to your friends.
Yeah, curtains apa. You never know what you're gonna spend on. Yeah.
All the pretty things inside.
But then again, the beauty of rumahan ni, you can slowly procure it. Tapi as long as it's in the future plan, to get it. Yeah. Atulah. Tapi kalau you're renting, like you have to get it now. You have to make it nice now. Atu probably lah, because you have 3 years to stay here.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
So one of the thing was also future possibilities. Yeah. So you need to think, okay, so now I probably only need this much space. Like if I wanted to extend, is there any room for extension? Yes. Like if you want to, that kind of thing. So like, do they all gonna have room for themselves? And then that kind of thing. Yeah.
That's true, because you do see homes every year or few years there'll be an extended room, extension here, extension there, to the point where it really borders on the gates of the house, the parameters of the home. But as long as everyone's comfortable, I mean, that's great, right?
Yeah, slowly down the years you will know what you want. I mean, like things change.
Yeah, things change.
So your priority changes as well.
Yeah.
So overall, is it practical? Is it feasible to buy a home? I mean, through Nonnie, definitely.
Right? Just go for it. Like, just don't think so much. Do what you can and see what you can afford, that kind of thing. Yeah, so look through the options. There's always options out there.
So mesti je fikirkan like which room yang boleh jadi besar nanti, that kind of thing. So at least siapa dulu kahwin, you'll get that room. Who marry last, you'll
get
get
out of the
thinking
house.
about that.
Who marries last, get out of the house.
But you have a limit. Kalau ni kahwin dah ada one, you have to move out.
I'll pick my favorite one, and you can stay close.
Yeah, usually it's like that. So
all right, guys, thank you so much for your time and for
Thank
sharing
you.
your experiences and your insight and your opinions on different topics with regards to housing, renting, as well as buying. So I think the key takeaways that we have today, is if you're a renter, is make sure you interview your landlord as well. It's a two-way street, right? You gotta like the guy's gotta like you as well.
Yeah, of course.
And you can make it your home, but at the back of your mind, you just remember it's not something that you can own in the long run. Yeah. And when it comes to buying a home, you can plan early, start saving now.
Yes, now.
There's a lot of processes in place to help you get that home that you would like, but also be practical when you want your home.
Definitely.
So think of what you can afford so that you can maintain your lifestyle. So again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more from our Baiduri podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Reflecting back to what was shared earlier, I agree with DST. Brunei having a strong culture of home ownership where individuals aspire to own their own home, it seems as a long-term investment and a symbol of stability and financial security. Additionally, The Brunei government provides various incentives and housing to support Bruneian citizens. The property market today, you will find a range of affordable housing options, making it more feasible for individuals of all ages to buy a home. It is also worth noting that property prices can vary depending on the location and type of property. The most obvious one would be experiencing higher demand and prices in these locations. It is difficult to loan from the bank. No doubt, buying your first home is a huge milestone, and the process can feel daunting if you haven't gone through it before. So, while it is true that obtaining a loan from a bank can be perceived as complicated or challenging, but with the right mindset, research and guidance, taking up home financing loan with the bank is not as bad or complicated as it may seem. How can a potential borrower benefit for taking up home financing from the bank? Access to funds. It provides access to home financing where this will enable them to purchase a property, as well as the different costs that home buyers need to anticipate, such as legal and valuation fees, insurance, and renovation costs. So this eliminates the need to save the entire purchase amount upfront or rely on loans from family members. Flexibility. Flexibility to spread their payments over an extended period of time, so this typically range from 10 to 25 years. This allows you to align with your financial capabilities, offering even more flexibility in the future. Timing. Take advantage of attractive offers that can result in significant savings. Age also plays a role to provide long-term benefits. How to overcome these so-called challenges? The banks have specific criteria and requirements that needs to be met in order to qualify for home financing. Therefore, it is crucial to do a thorough research, talk to your friends and families, understand the lending process and gather all necessary documentation. Consult with our sales advisor to explore available options and get the necessary guidance. So you can start by setting aside savings. This could range from 10 to 25,000. Understand, assess your current and future commitments. Maintain a good repayment history to enhance your loan eligibility. So when deciding a home preference, clearly define your wants and needs. Create a list of must-haves and wants. It will help align with your price range. Lastly, finding the best offers in the market. Keep an eye out on the best offers and act quickly to lock them in. Good luck on your home buying journey and contact us for more information.